Justin Fields. He is Jalen Hurts 2023. League winner. Complete league winner. One of the top 4 league winners in all of 2023 fantasy football. I've got my 4 best picks in 2023, and he is number 4. Go watch those videos. They're down in the middle section of my YouTube homepage. But like everything, we need to do a little refresh job on this one because a lot of people have been sitting out fantasy football content consumption for months and months, and we're here to remind some people what is up. Hurts was our boy last year. Hurts was on the Moon Men list last year. Hurts was a breakout candidate, a guy that could win you leagues in the 6th and 7th round. This is no different. He's going in round 5, sometimes earlier, sometimes later, but round 5. He has the stigma of, I can't throw the football. I'm only a running quarterback, similar to Jalen Hurts walking out of Jalen Hurts' 2021 season. But we knew better. We knew better because we knew Jalen Hurts could throw the football. We knew better because he was not only a great running back, he was a great quarterback, a great leader, and he could rally men. We also knew his team was improving greatly, and all the haters came in chirping away. Smitty, Jalen Hurts will never be an accurate quarterback or a good passing quarterback, Smitty. And there are people today that think he's capped off at 22 passing touchdowns. He'll never be an electric 4,000-yard passer year over year. I disagree. I disagree with that in terms of how it relates to Jalen Hurts, and I also aggressively disagree with that same type of thinking as it relates to Justin Fields, that he can't be a 4,000-yard passer. Oh, 4,000. But Smitty, he didn't do it. He hasn't done it, Smitty. You let me worry about that, Bob. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show.
Justin Fields is him. He's not only him, he is Jalen Hurts. You want that win-a-league player in round 5, 6. This is the guy. This is the guy that did what Jalen Hurts did last year. And he's going to produce very similar numbers. He's going to be top 1 to 5 in terms of fantasy football quarterbacks. He'll enter 2024 as a top 1 to 5 quarterback ranked heading into 2024, meaning we're going to have some discrepancy between where we all rank Mahomes versus Allen versus Hurts versus Burrow versus Fields. I mean, I don't think it's going to be clear cut. I think moving forward, we're going to have a group of 5 or 6 quarterbacks that literally everyone's unsure of who's going to be the number 1. I think 2, 3, 4 of them will kind of float above the others in general. But I've made it no secret that I think Fields and Burrow both belong in round 2 with Mahomes, with Jalen Hurts, with Josh Allen. Now, in no way, shape, or form am I saying to draft him in round 2, let alone round 3. If you take that away from this video, you need to take a lap. No. The point is there's no reason for Fields to be in round 5 and Joe Burrow to be in 5 or 6. With the calf injury, he's falling to 6. Honestly, I don't know what quarterback I like more at cost of entry right now. Burrow in round 5 or 6 with the calf, or Fields in round 5. Both can win you a league. Both feel very, very much the same in terms of ability to kick back your return on investment in a way that other players can't. In fact, I'd probably say this to you, if this is probably the most important part of the entire video, to be honest with you. If you've already overinvested in Burrow, and I don't mean that in a bad way, I just mean like you've been hitting the Burrow drafting hard all the way up into this point, like on Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty, you're drafting Burrow in like 80% of your leagues. Well, now is a good time to circle around and draft the other guy that we love almost as much and say, you know what, I'm going to go with 70% Fields and 30% trying to take advantage of the calf injury and concern. But if you're a little bit worried about the calf injury, as we can't predict how the human body is going to respond to an injury, you could say, you know what, I've got so much Burrow shares, I'm fine with the value I got. It stole him away around 4 and 5 all season long. I know he's going in 6 or 7, but I love him in 5, and I haven't drafted enough of Fields. Oversaturate the Fields side of the equation now. Draft 60-70% of Fields, go forward and take the remaining percent Burrow. Because I still think you should go all in on this calf injury in some respects. But I think that because I love both these guys, my advice right now to the heavy Joe Burrow drafter is start shifting over to Fields to kind of hedge your bets in a way and still get a large amount of Justin Fields shares, so you don't miss out on having more teams blow up because of what he's about to do. But my point is that both these guys, Burrow and Fields, deserve to be wherever Mahomes, wherever Hurts, and Josh Allen are. I'm not saying they all belong in round 2. I'm not saying that in my world I would fit them all in round 2. I'm merely telling you the value, the possible, the likely return on investment for Fields and Burrow will be equivalent to at least 1, 2, or all 3 of Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Jalen Hurts. Meaning round 2 for those guys feels like a wasted pick when you're looking at a similar option, a similar model, a similar return in terms of fantasy production at the end of the year in round 5 or 6, or in the case of Joe Burrow banged up in round 6, 7. So that means I'm probably not drafting a lot of Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Jalen Hurts moving forward. I'm not saying I won't. I'm not saying in a best ball draft when I'm on the clock in the middle of the second round and Hurts is there and I don't like how the board has fallen, I will take a little bit of Jalen Hurts once in a while in that sort of format. And I usually, 8 times out of 10, regret doing it, even after I feel like, okay, it's the best pick at the time, because Fields is sitting there at my 5th round draft selection, or Joe Burrow in round 6. And even though in Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty, by the way, we're drafting every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday, using code Smitty, using the link in the description, which inserts code Smitty for you. It'll match up to $100 in your first deposit. But when we're on Underdog, and I've done that, I've drafted a Hurts in round 2, a Mahomes in round 2, and I get back to 5, and I don't like who's there. In the 1 QB settings, I'll draft Fields because in best ball, optimal scoring makes it so you can't misfire on which QB you're starting each week. They'll start the highest scoring one for you. So in optimal scoring, you can't really not score a massive amount of points having Fields and Mahomes or Fields and Hurts on your team. You are potentially running the risk of passing on a player in round 5 that could help your lineup immediately, because you haven't yet filled out your lineup yet, but it's a strategic move in 1 QB best ball to grab Fields and a Hurts, or Hurts and a T-Law, or Burrow and a Mahomes, and I'll do that. My point is I'll do that, but my greater point is that when I draft Hurts, Mahomes, or Josh Allen in round 2, I'm regretting it, not because I don't love the value, because I still do. I still think they can crush it from that ADP. I'm very much an early quarterback advocate, but this is early quarterback too. This is early quarterback. The thing you got to recognize is he is an early quarterback. Someone just grabbed him, plucked him from round 2 because people don't want to hear it, and they placed him in round 5. So my strategy is to go get a round 2 guy in round 5. It's that simple. Same thing with Burrow. Burrow belongs in round 2, but the ADP fairy plucked him from round 2 and put him in round 6 or 7, especially with an injured calf. Fields and Burrow belong in round 2, or wherever Mahomes, Allen, and Jalen Hurts belong. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. It's how you win a league. You draft a player that doesn't belong in the round that he lingers in. That's how Dad did it. That's how America does it. And it's worked out pretty well so far. At least it did last year when we cleaned up with Joe Burrow in round number 6, 7, and Jalen Hurts in round 6, 7. Now you can say, oh, Smitty, he's inaccurate. I say, whatever. Say what you want. This man had no wide receivers to throw to last year. His wide receivers were ending their route tree, unable to run the route successfully because they're an injured second-class unit going out there trying to run routes while he's scrambling for his life. And it's amazing. In fact, amazing that he did what he did, kept his team close in games, didn't throw more than 11 INTs during a season people said he was extremely inaccurate. Oh, Smitty, he's such a bad passer. Smitty, he's so inaccurate, Smitty. If you look at how many throws he had, I can't believe he had 11 INTs. For a man scrambling for his life, with wide receivers running aimlessly around the field, it is a marvel. It is an enigma that he didn't throw for more than 11 INTs. And any other quarterback that was placed in his situation would have just crumbled into a million pieces, and you would have said that player failed. Instead, he got out of the mess that the Bears did put him in. I mean, Ryan Poles is building a team from the trenches, and he knows what he's doing. He's done a fantastic job, but he did trim the meat off this bone walking into 2022. He did throw a skeleton crew out there with Fields and ran the risk of injuring Fields, and Fields did get injured, but thankfully not season ending or something that will linger into the coming season. But Poles put him in a vulnerable spot, and he excelled and rose above it. It's head scratching that people don't see the positive in having a skeleton crew with no wide receivers and finding a way to crush 1,000 yards on the ground and be arguably the best running quarterback in the National Football League. This man's going to throw for 3,500 plus yards. I wouldn't be surprised if he threw for 4,000, but I think I give that one more year and he will be a 4,000 yard passer, a 38 to 4,200 yard passer. And you can balk at that all you want. I really don't care. My people know that I know quarterback, and I'm telling you that Fields is the real deal. DJ Moore may not be the number one wide receiver in the league, but he's great for Fields. He's great for the offense. He's great for Cole Kmet, who's now going to be open all over the middle of the field because DJ Moore is stretching out the defense. And this man, let's say he runs a little less, he's going to run more efficient because the defense is stretched out. There's going to be space between Fields and the defensive backs that usually will be crowded up to meet him very early on in his scramble. This guy's going to run for well over 1,000 yards, even with less touches. He's going to have about 10 plus rushing touchdowns minimum, and he's going to throw for 3,500 yards and probably 22 plus touchdowns through the air. He will be considered a dual threat monster, not a Lamar Jackson. A lot of people say, and he could prove everybody wrong this year because he did once prove he could throw the football, but that was some time ago. So Lamar's got a lot to prove, and I get some people are behind him, but he's not Lamar. He's not Lamar. Jalen Hurts is not Lamar, where it's like, this guy's one of the most elite runners in the National Football League, and he's a quarterback, and he throws pretty good. No, Hurts is an amazing thrower, a monster thrower, and a monster runner. Fields is the same thing. He's a monster under center as a passer. People just don't know it yet because he had zero weapons. You're judging the man's accuracy, you're judging the man's yardage, you're judging the man's evolution like people judged Jalen Hurts' evolution before he even evolved. You're judging him before he's had weapons at all. And he's going to be, unlike Lamar, in my opinion, an amazing quarterback under center, throwing the football, and the most amazing running quarterback like he was last year in the National Football League. He is Jalen Hurts 2023. Hurts is Fields, Fields is Hurts, Finkel is Einhorn, Einhorn is Finkel. Understand what we're talking about, learn about it. You are not getting on board this train later than today at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. The train doors will be cemented shut. You can no longer get on. Now get out of here. Go draft him on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. The link is in the description. Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Go draft Justin Fields and do it live.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show.